Hello, everyone. We're about to watch Watchmen 1x4 of my new favorite show. I have a couple of thoughts and observations that having watched it and let it sink in for a week, and I thought about it. I wrote a couple of things down that thoughts and observations. But I'm gonna try to keep it brief, because goddamn, I haven't been able to make a under 40-minute video of Watchmen yet. So I'm trying to do that. Okay, so here we go. Because the show just gives you so much to think about, so much to digest. Okay. I thought previously that when I first watched it that there wasn't anything weird in the episode because I had suggested that every episode would show something weird to remind you that you're not in the world that you think you are, and I was actually right. I think because in this last episode there actually was something weird. Maybe two weird, but the weird thing I noticed was the monument. I didn't realize the national monument had a ring around it. I wasn't sure if that. I didn't realize that was the monument. I noticed the ring. And I was like, "What the heck? How is that thing doing that?" And I was thinking maybe like the Manhattan blocks, maybe magnets, possibly. But whatever it is, the national monument had a ring around it. I think that was the weird thing for this episode. So I think every episode will have something weird to remind you of where you are, which is cool. So I was right. Um, let's see. Who is Laurie Blake? Well, we know she's an anti-vigilante. She's like the part of the anti-vigilante task force kind of thing. I think that was it, something like that. She hunts down caped crusaders, which is sad because she used to be one. She seems to have adopted the philosophy of her father, the comedian. When the guy said, "Hey, he's a hero," and then she said, "He's not a hero. He's an effing joke." That tells you all you need to know. It sounded just like the comedian. That was his way of seeing things. That the problems in the world were too big for one person to deal with, or for a bunch of mass vigilantes to deal with. But I don't think that she believes that. As illustrated at the end, when she's crying in the booth, I think that's when you see the real her, when nobody's around, and she's talking to John on the phone. That's when you really see who she is. She's crying. I think she's saying things like that you don't care about us anymore, but her eyes say different. Her eyes are crying because I think she pretends to be cynical about the world. She pretends to be the comedian because she's in a bad place right now. I think bad things have happened to her, clearly. But in her eyes, I see a want of something more. She's like Mulder in X-Files. She wants to believe, but at the moment there is nothing to believe in. So she gets dragged down by it. But I don't think that you just defeat that kind of hope. I think that she's inside of her. She's still wanting to believe in something. That's why when at the end there, I'll get to. I think it it kind of awakened that optimism back in her. It's like she wants to be optimistic, but she's cautious because I think bad things have happened. Besides the Watchmen of the '80s, I think bad things have happened since then. So like, Night Owl it's been captured by the FBI, and I gotta wonder if she's not doing all this because she's being coerced into it. She might be forced to do all this, because the way to me it just looks like she doesn't like it. She really does hate it. I did read the article, the newspaper thing, the those what do you call it? Those data modules or whatever that they released for the show, and it does provide you some awesome background information about that. So I did read the part about Night Owl being captured, so I knew that ahead of time. It really does give you some information about it, informs you on stuff. But what I like is that the show makes you feel the show allows me to figure that out on my own. I mean, you don't actually need to watch the show. You don't need to read any of the background information that they gave you. If you pay attention, it's all really it's the show still works on its own without the material, although it enhances that. But I like how I was able to figure it out just from watching the show. The show makes you feel smart for being able to figure it out. Yeah. Let's see. Keen. I thought it was King. It's Keen. Joseph Keen Jr. He made the Mask Doper Act, which protects the cops from having them wear masks like these criminals, to protect their identity. Turns out he was the one who created that act, and apparently it's only being done in Oklahoma right now, which has probably something to do with the significance of why Oklahoma is we're watching the story from. The masked vigilantes are happening there first. They're trying out. I mean, the masked cops are trying out there, and they're planning to load it out to other states soon. Uh, Keen sends an interesting piece of side information. Apparently, Keen Jr. is the son of Keen, who made the Keen Act, right? 1970 something, 73 or whatever. The Keen Act that prevented the vigilantes from being vigilantes. It became an illegal act to be a costume hero. Interesting, as the son, that's why his name is Junior, right? It must be Joseph Keen Sr. Then Joseph Keen Jr. It's interesting that he has decided to bring masks back, but to put masks on everybody. Is his father still alive? I wonder how he would feel about that. Why did they make him the character? Why, of all people, have Keen's son be the one to enact the opposite, almost the opposite of what his father had put down? I don't know. He enlists Laurie Blake to go into the field. He puts her in charge of the Oklahoma investigation into Judd's death, because he believes that it's not actually. He believes it's not the white supremacists, because they always put a calling card to everything they do. They take credit for it. He postulates that it's actually a vigilante, and that's why he puts her in charge. There's also the Millennium Clock that we saw as she passed over as we're headed to Oklahoma on the plane. I don't know what that is. I didn't even hear what she said the first time. Millennium Clock. What's that? I don't know. It's another thing that's definitely not in existence, right? It's just there. I don't know what it means, but obviously they introduce elements that they're gonna touch on later on. So I know it's gonna come back into play at some point. Although the way they drop it in there, if you didn't think about it, you just think, okay, great, that's there. But actually, when you realize it, the show is really trying to set things up in a very, don't look over here kind of way. Look over here, magician style kind of thing. They don't make you think about it. They just show you this thing, but they don't make you think about it at all. But if you do, you realize, oh, okay, wait a minute, how is this going to play into the bigger narrative? That's cool. I like how they do that. Adrian Veidt. He finally said his name now. I don't know how to pronounce his name for the longest time. I always call him Veidt, and I realize there's no L in his name. There's no L at all. But it's actually Adrian Veidt. And where the hell is he? I think he's in space, because of the way he put that clone into that suit and threw him out there, and he froze. Looks like something in space. I think he's in a dome, because they showed that dome of the tree inside the dome thing. It looks to me that it occurred to me afterwards that they showed that dome for a reason. I think it's a little microcosm of the world he's living in. He's actually in space, perhaps looking for Dr. Manhattan, which is why he's making plays and all that. He's obsessed with it. He's trapped in space in some kind of a dome, and I think there's an exit maybe, and he will send the guy through it. Best thing I can come up with at the moment, based on the information we have. He is trying to get out, and if he is of anything else, he is frustrated as all hell. That's why he keeps beating up his clothes and all. He is freaking pissed. I recognize frustration when I see it. He is frustrated. And frustrated. Apparently he's fighting off against someone called the Game Warden, but their conversation is very confusing to me. There's a politeness to it that suggests a gentleman's game. You know what I mean? Because they talk about your humble servant He thanks him for the tomatoes. He thanks him back for whatever. Something. Makes me think that there's some kind of a gentleman's competition going on here where you're polite but also competitive at the same time. I don't know what to think though, because there's only two options I can think of. Either he is trapped and the villain has something on him, right? Has somehow managed to capture the smartest man in the world, maybe the smartest person in the world. How? I don't know, because that would imply you're smarter than he is. Or another possibility is that he's doing this of his own volition. The Ozymandias has chosen to be locked up. But that would make him very, very bored. He must be extremely bored to have done something like this, and it makes him look very petty or something. That he's so bored with life that he has to invent his own entertainment. He's got to put himself in peril because nobody is capable of putting him in it. I don't know about that. I want to think that he actually is caught, but then again, I can't see how that would happen. He's too smart for that. It looks like he's made an agreement with this guy. I provide you with tomatoes, and you provide me with a place where I gotta escape or something. But at the same time, he looks really pissed about being here. So either he regrets the deal he made, or he really is trapped. But it's one of those two. I can't. Gotta be. I think also that another thought, the last episode where he put him inside the cage and then roast him alive, I think that was to show that he was testing out the watch, perhaps, to see if it would survive the trip through a furnace. Maybe because whatever he has to get through has something to do with fire. And so he was testing it out. And while he was doing that, he decided to make a play. I don't know. It seems like something somebody might do. Someone like him, maybe that's how they would perceive things. If I'm going to do this test, I want us to make some kind of a play around it. I don't know. He also looks like, she was trying to cry. It's like he needs to feel something. I don't know. And he clearly doesn't view these clones as people, because he just tosses them into furnaces, tosses them into space. They're just guinea pigs to him until he can get out. He crushed the guy in the ground, man, into the ground after he got frozen. I really like Ozymandias, his storyline. It grew on me. I don't know what to make of it in the first episode, but as each episode goes on, his storyline becomes more and more fascinating. I like how we started in one room and slowly expanded out into the rest of the castle, and then we expanded out to, beyond the castle, to the buffalo and all that stuff. I loved his story is so whimsical and mysterious, but there's a playful element to it that is not available in any other part of the show. It's almost like a different show that you're watching, like you're in some kind of delirious state. And you're watching this other reality going on. He's experiencing like 3 years already in the same time frame. There's no way it's the same world. I don't know where he is, but he's in a different timeline or something. I don't have no idea. Either time is going by faster for him, or he is in a different we're watching him years before all this has happened, something like that. We know his death. He was faked his death and disappeared. But did he fake his death, or did he get caught? I have no idea. But it's so much fun to watch, and a lot of people keep saying how there's no answers coming, or we didn't get as many answers in this video or this episode or whatever. And I don't need answers. I enjoy the ride. I'm enjoying the ride. I enjoy picking it apart to the point where I don't want him to really say anything. I want all of it to come out through the visuals and not even dialogue. Just show me the visuals and let me interpret it for myself. I think I can figure it out. It's like a test of my own intelligence. That's what this show makes me feel. It's one of the most complex shows I ever had to pick apart so far, and I think it's just gonna keep going like that. I love it. I love that about it. I want it to be even more confusing. It's not confusing enough for me. I need more confusion. I love to pick apart stuff like that. After this show, man, I mean, there's nothing that I can't pick apart. This show has trained my mind. It's gonna make my mind so smart with intuition and whatnot, and you can't, I can just go. You can just come up to me and tell me that you're a time traveler, and I want to go. Okay, cool, let's do it. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna be. My mind is so fast, I can just pick up whatever, and just go with it. I'm not going to be asking any questions. I know I can figure this out as I go. So you can't tell me anything now that I'm not going to be not surprised. I'm just going to go, okay, this is happening now. Let's go with it. Okay, I'm good. Let's go. You know what I mean? This show makes me feel like that. I'm never going to have to stop and go, what's going on now? No, just keep moving and keep going. You'll figure it out as you go. I think most people are smarter than they think, too. Give the show a shot. Because, I think it will help build it makes you smart, man. This show makes you smart. I'm saying that right now. Watching makes you intelligent. Builds your freaking brain. Like this is like this is like my mind workout. You know what I mean? It's like I'm lifting weight, trying to get to that, raising the pounds every raising my reps and all that stuff every single week. This show is doing that for my brain. Last thing on my list. I managed to keep this pretty quick, so to speak. Okay, not quite, but I'm almost there. Oh, okay. Last thing is her joke. I was trying to figure out what the joke meant, 'cause I didn't quite get it at first. I don't think anybody's supposed to exactly. I think it's meant to be interpreted, which is why it's so good. It's so good writing because it's not just a joke, but also informs the show itself. It was actually an exposition piece. I like how what I liked about it was she almost told the whole Watchmen history, the story from the Watchmen comic book. She almost told the whole thing, but she did it as a joke. And I think that's the point of the joke. I think if you try to draw too much meaning from it, I don't think that was what she was trying to do. After all, she was telling a joke. I think it does two things. One, I think what she was trying to say with it is, what it really does is show her point of view. So it shows her point of view, and what she was trying to say was that they're all a joke. I think that's what she was trying to say. That all those heroes are just a big joke. But then she could also be saying, because there's so many ways to take this. I loved it. It was so cool. Never seen a story like that where you told a joke to the whole thing, like the way she did it. She broke apart a joke in half and then kept going. 2 parts became a whole at the end. That was very, very cool. She could also be saying that all those heroes, those 3 heroes, are all in their own hell, because it's interesting that the joke was told with the 3 main characters who are in this story in different places. We got Night Owl mentioned in the episode, and he's some of the FBI. He is in his own hell because he's trapped there, right? He can't leave. And Ozymandias is definitely in some kind of hell in whatever world he's in. And then, of course, I think John is trapped on Mars in a way, and he doesn't know how to feel anymore or something. Who knows what's going on with him? But maybe he's in his own hell too. I don't understand the whole part about the brick and all that, because wasn't the father making a barbecue? I don't understand how you connect that together. But I thought it was really cool the way she delivered it, but I still don't get it. She threw the brick in the air, and it was for the barbecue. I have an idea, Daddy. Throw the brick in the air, but then it lands on God's head? What? How does that work? And that was apparently the punchline of the joke, which was it was a cool callback to the previous joke, but I don't quite get what the punchline is. Is she implying that she is the one no one ever sees, and then kills God when you're not looking? I mean, that's what it looked like to me, because when she talked about the girl part, it was with her on the bed. But I don't really know. And while I'm on the subject, that was a huge ass dildo. That was huge. I thought it was like I thought is she carrying a missile in her suitcase? But it wasn't a missile. It was a giant ass blue dildo that was all metal. That thing is too big. You can't possibly fit that in your freaking cooch, right? I don't know. And it's made out of metal. It looks so uncomfortable. I don't understand how that works. And you had to have the balls attached to it. It's literally she's carrying that briefcase on everywhere. She's got a magazine cover from Esquire on there with her and with a young her and a young Manhattan. Oh, but the best part is at the end of that joke where they walk out. She walks out and the car falls right next to her. I was so confused when I first saw that. Now I get it. I figured it out like a day after, which is the car represents the brick. and it's being thrown back at her, which means that when she looks up and she starts laughing, is because it's like John kind of threw her brick back at her. And I think that's might be what it means by killed by space junk. It's like when someone says that you killed it with a joke, right? Except she ended up being the joke. She told the joke to him, but then he chose the brick back at her, actually kind of overshadowing her own. He obumbrated her joke, threw the car back at her, and makes it the punchline of that or something. Like, you killed God, I killed you. I don't know, but I thought that was amazing. It was so cool. And really, what the joke is really supposed to do is show you, oh God, I still went 20 minutes. God damn, I tried. Okay, almost done. I tried, man, but almost done. I think the joke, it wasn't so much about the joke, but what was really important about it was it did so many things at once. But I think it was more important to inform you of what her mindset was. Also, it gave you background information on the characters and possibly where they are in their own hell. So there's so many things, but I think it was most important to understand her mindset, and then show the relationship between her and John at the end, which was beautiful. How he chose the car back at her, and it was almost like a way of saying, it was his way of saying, I heard you, and I do you one more. I do you one better than what you did. And she got to laugh at it, because he made it that she ended up being the blame of a joke or something like that. That's beautiful. I love how John became such a big part of this episode he's been a big part of this series without even showing up yet. He's only had that one glimpse, and it was barely a glimpse, very tiny little speck of blue pixel on the TV screen of a live TV broadcast or something like that. And yet, in this episode especially, he became such a central part of it. I want to see John now. I can already feel him, and all he did was throw a car at her. I was also confused because wasn't that the car that Will was in? I don't understand that part. That implies that Will is working with Manhattan. He did mention Manhattan, so maybe he is working with him. But Manhattan wouldn't need a contraption to lift the car up. I don't understand. I think that there's several other heroes here involved in this situation. And I still don't think Judd is a cavalry member. Although there was a second gun shooter at the White Knight. Don't know. But I'm pretty sure this is going to give us a lot more information, as it always does. I can't wait. Let's go. I tried to keep it as brief as I could, but I ended up going 23 minutes. But you know what? It was worth it. I think I did a good job right there. I think I said everything I need to say. And I'm probably going to have to take notes for this because this is a freaking thick-ass show. Let's do it. Let's go to episode 4. Can't wait. Let's do it. Woo! I did it.
Agent Blake, the deputy director is going to say...
More eggs. More goddamn eggs. I'd buy some, man. She's making me hungry. Something's gonna go wrong because they look too happy.
Your lady True.
She's the one who bought the company. Oh,
I sure am.
shit.
May I come in?
It's like Spock.
I'm not here to offer you money for your land. I'm here to offer you legacy. I'm here to offer you a child.
Get out of our house, honey.
You already did.
What? And you can't just take it back now, can you? Look at that haircut. How can she do that without the consent?
10 seconds, or I'll have no other choice but to destroy the baby.
Holy shit, this lady. Ooh, this lady, man. Freaking vicious. God damn, why is every new character more interesting than the last? She's a freaking supervillain right there. She's a freaking supervillain.
That is mine.
Write your own. Damn, she's so cool. I hate her, but she's cool. We don't know what. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I think it's been around for so long. Don't do it. Saigon be Saigon.
Oh, Will,
I get it. No.
Shit. Someone broke the glass on the side door.
So you put it over there, and it's like a USB stick. Yeah, it's like it reveals there's some data. There's some kind of data on it. Cause it's like for kids, right? It's like a kids. It's like a kids museum kind of thing. It feels like to me, the way they talk to you.
Will is not yet identified. Would you like to meet your great-grandparents?
Yeah. Okay.
Opie and Ruth had one son.
You said you wanted me to know where I came from. So wherever you are, leave me the fuck alone.
The dialogue in this show has a way of twisting itself on you. It's not like it's gonna go one direction, and the last line freaking switches it up. The lady did that too. The Asian dude, the lady True. Oh my gosh! Same time. Oh, that was awesome.
They take anything? Doesn't look like it.
The pills. Also, I think the husband has something to do with it. He might. He disappeared on White Knight. He just disappeared. And they are kind of... I think they're painting him out to be kind of a coward. Yeah. I think he disappeared on that White Knight. And he was too afraid to face the grandpa or whatever at the door. I think he's supposed to be some kind of coward. Yeah, he doesn't seem like he does anything. Like he's just a house husband or something. I haven't seen him actually do anything but stay with the kids. It's like he's traumatized or something.
Hi.
Topher said that Uncle John didn't go to heaven when he blowed up.
Oh my god.
Sweetheart, heaven is 10.
So where is he then?
Before Uncle Joe was born, he was nowhere. Then he died. Now he's nowhere. Again.
Wow, they're just gonna go straight for that. Usually you let them believe that kind of stuff.
Nowhere.
Well, just the truth.
That's a hard truth, man. Letting little kids believe straight up. Dude, what the heck is that? What was that? Of course it's him.
Poor bastards rain down on us from another dimension, probably just as confused as we are. 30 seconds of life. And they spend all of it dying.
Yeah.
You're fucking weird.
What are these?
I was hoping you could ask your ex.
This is old school.
Yeah, old school.
Granddaddy was a lawman. Maybe it's just a keepsake.
Exactly. Really old.
So the FB.
Another location. The music just stops. I like how they do this. The music. I like how the music stops. The music is always going and flowing, and it stops. Oh, the music. Oh shit. The song. Great alien man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What the hell is he doing? What was that? You go on fire or something? What? What the hell? Damn, that was a move. Why did he have to? Oh, he had to like grease himself up or something so he could slide under. He's got to be with the way he did that. He's got to be with Will.
The new boss probably isn't going to give shit about Lube Man.
Lube Man.
New boss. I believe
She doesn't give a shit.
So, did nuns murder your parents? Or were you raised by
Yeah,
nuns
because she
after
looks
your
like a
parents
black
were
nun.
murdered? No judgment. I
Like a reverse
used to
nun.
dress up and fight bad guys too.
Minutemen like the TV show?
That show is garbage. It's her dad tried to rape her mom.
Is that the millennium clock? So maybe one of those was used.
Pick up a car in downtown Greenwood.
Claw machine.
Hello, my name is Bian.
Oh my
I'd
gosh.
be happy to provide
It's
you
the
with
newspaper
information
lady.
you've requested.
See,
My
they showed her
mother
earlier
delegates
to be
interactions
into
with
this.
you. I'd like to invite you to have tea in her vivarium.
Gotta be a daughter.
May
or
I
something.
show you the way?
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much they showed that. So if you see anything weird, it'll be addressed later on. For sure. Maybe she's not a daughter, maybe she's a clone. Just like Ozymandias' thing.
If there is a... Ông nội chị muốn biết nhận được thuốc chưa?
Holy shit!
I remember one from when I was little too. Đồ má mày.
Oh!
Kiểu ông mắc gì.
Baby, what the hell is that? Squids? What in the world? Oh, this is his cloning facility. Maybe she hired the games warden to kidnap him. I can't imagine it. How do they have all those holograms and yet they have no phones? Well, they don't have cell phones. Weird. Is that a squid cake? Is that like dehydrated or something?
You are flaws in this faultless design. For while I may be your master, I am most definitely not your maker. I would never have.
Made you so dumb. Oh, get to cleaning.
I had a rough night.
He killed them all himself?
I don't need it yet.
I don't need it yet. Whoa! So it is some kind of illusion.
4 years. 4 years since I was sent here.
So it has been years.
In the beginning, I thought it was a paradise. But it's not. It's a prison.
In certain angles, he looks like the guy from the movie.
So?
Where we definitely know he's on a prison. He's in a prison now. He thought it was paradise, and he was sent here, like some kind of vacation, and it ended up not being that.
When were you going to tell me that the woman from the FBI came by and talked to you?
She wanted to know who called the house the night Jill got killed. I lied.
And you hate lying.
Yeah, he looks upset about it.
Did you tell her about your accident?
I think she wants to help you.
It's like she's protecting him.
Why?
From something. That's what the feeling I get from her. You know, you stay here, watch the kids.
Oh,
I'll go do this or something. What? Is that an IV? It's an IV. They're not as perfect as they have first appeared to be. It's a weird place.
I was in a village. Men came. My feet still hurt. Good.
Good night, young lady.
Oh, shit. He's there.
When family's involved, judgment gets cloudy, feet get cold, deals get broken.
Oh, I knew it. He can't walk.
My feet are just fine.
I had a feeling. The wheelchair is all fake.
You know what I have done. And you hate me for it.
Oh, shit.
And you're concerned about whether I am in. Whether I am in. All the way. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. Tick-tock.
Oh, what? What is that? What is that? Whew. Okay. I will definitely have to go watch that again. But now I'm not so sure. See, I was debating whether or not Will was a villain or not. Or what. I started thinking, what if he was? What if he joined the Germans? But now I'm not so sure. I mean, that lady looks like 100% a villain. You know? She bought the house. She needs that land for something. They're planning something. They're setting something up. What if he is a villain? Him saying the TikTok thing at the end makes me think that he is in fact leading the cavalry. That they're soldiers that he's using for some bigger plan. Oh man, I do think that he I can't tell what side he's on now, or maybe that's not the point. It's not about sides, but I don't think he said he betrayed her. Something bad happening there. Man, we got a whole bunch of setup for the next episode, or the rest of this season. I think that whatever was going on with that girl, the daughter, something weird about that, and he's weird. I mean, he's doing something with his own kids, and why now? I don't know. But whatever they're doing is some kind of big experiment going on. It reminds me of the Golden Compass, the Here's That Materials, where they're kind of they're doing some kind of experiment on children. That's what it looks like to me. It's all she's not a kid though. I don't suppose that lady could be the girl, the baby. No, the baby was black though, right? That can't be right. We still don't know what happened to that kid. But I get the feeling that this is years in the making, whatever they're doing. And now that Ozymandias is captured, or some kind of prison that he was sent to, and he thought it was paradise at first, maybe because he could be by himself and he didn't have to be around people or something, but then he found it to be hell after a while. and is definitely trying to get out. He said that himself now. Let's see. And then you got the accident. Whatever happened to her husband, Cal, or whatever his name, Cal, I think it was. He was in some kind of accident. And what was that about? Because he looks like he's traumatized. I've been getting that from him for a while. He's scared of something, and I feel like she's protecting him. I think he was in some kind of traumatic accident, PTSD or something. He looks completely fine physically, so it was something traumatic in his brain. And then there's what's his name? There's the guy. Looking Glass. He has an ex who he's gonna take the robe or take the pills to check out. I think he gave him the robe too. Give him the robe as well. I like how he didn't immediately go to Judd being a bad guy. He might have actually been the clan robes. But we got a ton of mysteries, man, being set up here. And I still think he could be Hooded Justice. There's a good chance. That lady's opening scene, though, was... Man, these guys know how to set up characters really well. And they actually... I think they do it in a very superhero-like way, actually. For a show that's... for a show that, you know, is based on a comic book that deconstructed superheroes, they know how to write some really cool superhero characters. The lady as the way the lady came about, right? She just walked in like she knew she was gonna buy the place before they even did anything, and she knew she could convince them, guaranteed within. She convinced them in 3 minutes, but she did it by kind of like a guilt association. Basically, she made the baby somehow without their consent. But how you gonna turn on the baby because it's right in front of you? You're not gonna do that. You would be forever hurt by that, right? You couldn't do that. But if you take the baby, you have to accept the deal. And so you're going to do it because you want a baby. She found what she wanted the most. And then she did it ahead of time so that you can't say no. You can't say no because the baby's going to go somewhere. I think she might have killed it. You don't know if she was taking it serious or not. But I think she's a heartless bitch. She doesn't have any emotion. Completely unscrupulous. Has no morals whatsoever. And she bought his company, right? Right after he was taken off the table. Suspicious. She could be involved in his disappearance. What does the Millennium Clock have to do with Dr. Manhattan? Don't know, but I think that's all connected somehow. It tells time. Maybe it's like you need a watch that tells perfect time for something precise. I don't know. There's a lot to digest here. I'm going to go look at it again. Come back to this. In terms of anything weird in the episode, I don't know, actually. Actually, I can't really think of anything. But in terms of what we'll probably see next episode, we're probably going to learn more about his accident. And whatever that stuff was floating in the sky will probably come up later on. I feel like that's... Whatever that last shot was, I feel like that's going to be set up for later, not quite yet. We might learn more about his accident, and wherever Tim McNielsen, Looking Glass is going, we're going to find out what the hell that's about. He's going to go look at the pills. She's investigating all that stuff. Meanwhile, she's trying to stay one step ahead of Silk Spectre, the second, or whatever, Laurie Blake. What else? That daughter will come back into this. Now that the Asian family has been introduced. Awesome way to introduce some Asian kids. Man, I wasn't gonna say. I don't really care, but I did wonder for a second where all the Asian people are. Not that I really care about that. Whatever. I'm sure that there's a reason. They'll show up if they have to. But man, they made an awesome introduction for freaking Asian people. Can be ruthless if you're not careful. They're super smart, man. They come at you from a different angle because we come from a different world. You know what I mean? But she's Chinese anyway. I'm Japanese, so that's not quite the same thing either. But still cool to see some Asian representation there. Not that I need it. I'm cool either way. I still like Judd, man. I still did hope that there's some good hope. There's some hope for him there. Okay, I gotta analyze this stuff. I'm hungry. I gotta go eat something. I don't want to keep you guys anymore. With this, that's it. I'll stop right there. All right. And someone's knocking on my door. Okay, to the next episode, guys. Watchmen. Thank you for watching. Yes. Woo.